The gothic action platform game is back. Let's take a look at Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. Three years ago, I was one of the many who backed the Kickstarter campaign for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and I will be talking about Ritual of the Night at surely long length at a later date and time, but this time around I want to take a look at one of its stretch goals, which was for a retro-inspired prequel game to be released, and that stretch goal became a reality on May 24th, 2018 in the form of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. The game isn't so much the prequel that was originally planned, but more of a spin-off, mostly featuring a demon hunter named Zangetsu who isn't too fond of alchemists. Along the way he encounters other characters which become playable, not unlike Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. While the main game of the series is going to be a MetroidVania type, this is more of the linear platform game, not unlike the Castlevania games from the original up until Bloodlines. Here they put a little twist on things and give you multiple ways to navigate through a stage. The most direct way is always noted by a corpse which points the way, and some areas you may encounter early on might not be reachable initially, but as you play through the game, you can play it again and reach them with other playable characters. It's speaking of the other playable characters which can be unlocked, and once they are, you can freely switch between them. Joining the sword-toting Zangetsu are Miriam, the whip-wielding protagonist from Ritual of the Night, who is faster and more agile than Zangetsu, Alfred, an old alchemist who might not be physically strong but has very powerful magic, and finally Gibble, who everyone is going to compare to Alucard from Castlevania 3 as he can turn into a bat and fly past obstacles. Naturally, there are different sections of the game that are going to be more suited to one character over another. Personally, my favorite character in the bunch is Miriam, who plays most similarly to a Belmont. She can even slide into small passageways, not unlike Richter from Rondo of Blood. Like with the Castlevania game, you can pick up many sub-weapons, many of which function similarly to those in Castlevania. Miriam's sickle weapon is very similar to the boomerang cross and can hit multiple times. One of Alfred's weapons is a circle of flame that really reminds me of some ninja magic from Ninja Gaiden. And there's plenty of others out there, and I've probably only scratched the surface of trying them all out so far. Presentation-wise, Curse of the Moon is meant to have a retro 8-bit inspired look. Many of the enemies and backgrounds are a little too intense for a console like the NES graphics-wise, and a lot of the art design gives me this feeling which I can best describe by saying, imagine if Castlevania 3 and Shovel Knight had a baby. The sound effects and music are of course very much inspired by Castlevania as well, and they mostly stick to a chiptune style, which also makes me kind of think of Shovel Knight a little bit, more of a modern chiptunes, but it definitely has cues from the Castlevania series, and that is of course no surprise. The gameplay footage you're seeing here is from the Steam version. I mostly play my PC games with an Xbox One controller, and initially I felt as if the controls seemed a little stiff, but as I played on, I got used to the feel of them. I think that stiffness might have been a little bit intentional to enhance the old school feel of the game, but your mileage may vary there. Simply put, I feel that this is a case of a retro style game done right. They're not just rehashing old ideas here. It is a mostly linear game, but there's enough going on that this game will warrant a replay after beating it once. Inti Creates did an excellent job bringing this to life, if you ask me. The game is meant to be a little spin-off side project, an appetizer before the main course, that main course being Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, but they didn't just mail it in here. Curse of the Moon is definitely solid enough to stand on its own, and with just how good the bonus game is, I'm even more excited for the main course. If you want to check this game out for yourself, it is very easy to do so. It is only going for $9.99 on Steam, and I'm sure it's similarly priced on the other platforms in which it's available. Personally, I feel like they easily could have charged a little bit more for it, and it probably would just be as worth it. Needless to say, this game goes with a very high recommendation from me. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around. I know I haven't been all that active lately, and hopefully I can just keep things going and churning out some new stuff. So if you want to see more, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications, hopefully, you know how YouTube gets. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.